All right, well, it's cold outside. We've been playing some games. I think maybe now it's time for a little snack. So, shifting gears to baking. Now, baking is a great activity to get kids involved with. There's so many just functional skills that are required for baking and cooking. And then really good executive function skills to practice for older kids, right? Following the recipe, making sure you have everything you need, doing everything in the sequence of events, right? Following those directions step by step. And I love baking because it's chemistry too, right? It has to work all together. So lots of great skills when we bring them in. And again, you don't have to really do anything extra. Just let them be a part of it, using the vocabulary, talking about what we're doing. Okay, so, right, sequence. First, then, next, last. Those are all really important because kids have to remember the order to do things, right? When we get older in math, right, multi-step problems, for example, that they have to solve, that's important. When they have to remember stories or they're understanding stories in movies, we need to understand that sequence of events. So something like baking, talking about, okay, first we're putting the flour in. After that, then we're gonna put in the milk. All those words are really important for kids to understand and that we can use while we're baking. And I go into that a lot more in my Fearless and Free Parent Blueprint for connection and communication in that course. But just for now, here's a few tidbits. Okay, so also vocabulary of just the things we use when we're cooking, right? We store language categorically, and so we want to help kids understand that if they don't have that thinking, and build connections for categories. So we have all things that have to do with baking and cooking here and in the kitchen, right? We have our measuring spoons, measuring cups, different things like, right, wooden spoon, a whisk, mixer, right? So all of the vocabulary just in baking that goes along with all of this, and that's in your email there. Okay, adding things in, stirring things together, put it in the small bowl or the big bowl. There's lots of describing concepts that we can use in here. All right, filling things, right, with our filling it all the way up to the top, pouring it in the big bowl. Okay, and I said in the email, right, if you're doing this with multiple kids and you need to make sure everybody has a turn, use half sizes, right? If you need a half a cup of something, use 2/4 so that they each have a turn. Okay, so fractions, right? You don't need to worry about the fractions with the little kids so much, but if your kids are old enough, or you can still talk about them with all kids, okay, of your fourth, quarter, half, third. Same with the different tablespoons and teaspoons. Those are all great concepts to learn, okay? Talking about putting it in the oven, baking, cooling, all of those words are really great vocabulary. And again, for the older kids, following the steps and being more independent is going to be really helpful too in helping them do those skills. So baking is a great way to talk about and learn language and math concepts, thinking concepts, problem solving, right? All of those very functional skills and necessary skills for learning. So what are you going to cook up?